Welcome back to the North American Star Team League. We're about to be jumping into game number 3 between eSahara and IS. Right now, it's eSahara Maka who has the ball in his court. He's just taken out Inser. And it looks like next up is going to be J Echo. Oh, CatZ, I'm so excited. Do you know just the J Echo character at all?
He plays Zerg, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he plays Zerg. He's good.
Yeah, and yeah, he is very good. Once upon a time, I practiced a little bit with J Echo, and he just kind of creamed me, and so then he stopped practicing with me, and I was sad. No, I mean, it's not like that, but you know, he got much better than me, and I was kind of sad, and then now I'm obviously kind of casting more so than playing these days, which makes me also sad because there's just not enough time. But J Echo is still playing a lot, and he's gotten better and better and better, and here he is on Team IS, about to play against Maka, so I really hope to see him do well. He's a great player, and I think he's capable of going the distance here.
Indeed, and we're gonna have CVT on this map, which we saw before, and we saw CVT on it. It's definitely a pretty good map for sure. It's or at least it's actually it's Daybreak. Why was I thinking of the other map?
Because they're very similar.
Still, everything applies, but yeah, I was thinking of the other one that we saw. What's his face?
Odyssey with Heavens.
Yeah, Odyssey.
Heavens.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, the mini map looks so similar.
Yeah.
But
they really do look similar. It's like
still a great
if you take Odyssey and turn it on its if you take Odyssey and put it on its side, it's Daybreak, and vice versa. So, but yeah. Now it's been a while since I've talked to or played with J Echo. In the past, his playstyle favored things like Roachling Baneling. I would imagine that he's probably grown out of that, as for a while that was really good in the metagame, and now it's kind of shifted back towards more mobile styles, more sustainable styles. You know, Roachling Bane's not something that you can just keep doing forever. So eager to see what he has planned for us, and eager to see more of Maka's excellent Terran play.
Yeah, and now I'm hoping for a longer macro game from Maka. Out of the times I played him, he's orbital commanded first at least half the time, or probably half the time. So yeah, exactly half the time. So we might see that as well.
Yeah, it could happen. He's got that supply depot at the wall, as if he wants to wall in. So we're gonna have to wait and see. We are right now looking at the pink Zerg player. It is J Echo. He's at the bottom left, and of course there's Maka up top right. Red Terran sending out that SCV scout. Oh, there's a name for this barracks, CatZ.
Maka Barracks.
That is the Maka Barracks, the Maka Rex. So we'll see if he puts down a second one, or if he's just kind of positioning that barracks outside to shorten the rush distance to make J Echo sweat. This is becoming really normal in Korean StarCraft. I've realized in watching the GSL. It's not cheesy to build your first barracks outside of your base. It's just annoying, you know?
It's super annoying.
Yeah.
The only problem, obviously, is that when you float it back, it well, you know, you have to stop marine production. But for the most part, there's really little to no reason to not do it. I mean, like, the Zerg is gonna scout right now. It's not gonna see a barracks, and he's gonna feel a little bit better when he sees the gas. But you know, not every Zerg scouts this early, and sometimes before, or if you don't see the barracks right away, you'll start making a ton of flings. There's just a lot of room for the Zerg to mess up against this kind of play.
Ooh,
no, he's
J
searching
Echo
for the Rex. He found it.
Spots it, knows exactly what's up. He's gonna stop sweating because he says, "All right, that's not in a real dangerous spot. Marine's still got to cross the whole map. Just make sure a bunker doesn't go up, and I will be fine."
Absolutely.
And yep, pretty
So
fast
this is-
gas.
Yeah, that is really fast gas by J Echo. So I'm interested to see if he's gonna. Oh wow, Maka floating the racks too. Oh, he was looking for an orbiter that's usually positioned there. J Echo going all the way around though, so that's not gonna happen. But yeah,
I kind of like the path that Overlord took. It kind of goes over some proxy spots, so I can live with that.
Yeah, not
And
bad
Maka
at
just
all.
gonna float right back and go factory, and nothing really comes of that. I love that opening from Maka. It gives him the opportunity to be really annoying and do some damage if it goes unscouted or if the Zerg player overreacts. And then if it does get scouted, then it's no big deal. You just play normal.
Yep, it's like you were mentioning, it's pretty standard. There's absolutely no reason to not do that, to proxy 1 racks, and there's a lot of room for the Zerg player to overreact and mess up. So yeah, it's everyone should try it. Not do it every game, but you could try it.
Link
Very
speed
low
coming for Gieco. He's since stopped mining gas. He's also got a single spine crawler going up. He has 2 queens out and a 3rd one building, so it's going to be 3 queens from our Zerg player. And it's something that I often struggle with is how many queens is the right number? Is it 3? Is it 4? Is it 6? I like to go up to 4 queens pretty quick. Do you have a preference, CatZ?
I make 3 for sure, and depending what they're doing, I'll add a 4th one or stop at 3. And I'll go to 5 if I'm sure there's a Marauder Hellion all-in coming or Cloak Banshees.
Really? Queens against Marauder Hellion?
Oh yeah, they're good.
For a transfuse? For what?
For transfuse and for attacking as well.
It must take a queen 9 years to kill a Marauder.
Yeah, but they're pretty good against the Hellions. And it doesn't really take that long when there's 5 queens shooting at Marauders, and it also doesn't take that fast for Marauders to kill queens. Like, it takes a while. Usually, when I get hit by Marauder Hellions all-ins, I just need like, it's usually a timing attack. And in all the sense of that word, like, sometimes that's, like, used not so well, the term timing attack.
Yeah.
But if Marauder Hellion usually has a pretty short spawn of time where it can work.
Right.
And if you can just buy enough time for your mutas to get out or whatever you're doing, in my case it's usually mutas, it's over. So
you must get the fastest mutas.
No, I take 2 gases at 35 or so, or 36. And then, but I go lair first.
Before link speed?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fast, man. That's really fast.
36 supply. I don't know. It's not that fast though. I get mutas out, I think, by the 10:30 or 11-minute mark. It's not that fast. Yeah, it's pretty safe. I don't know. I've been working on that opening. Like, I've been working on that a lot. It's pretty similar to what Gieco has or did, minus the link speed. I don't find the link speed helpful at all. And usually you're being contained by Hellions anyway, so you can't go out with the link speed until you have enough links. And you know what? I don't want to make enough links until I have to make enough links. So usually when I make enough links is when my link speed is about to finish. And then all my links pop out and they have link speed, and then I have enough to clear the Hellions.
I'm a big fan of what I'm seeing out of Gieco. He's managed to get a lot of drones out and a 3rd base before lair. And in today's metagame, there's a lot of times when you don't see a Zerg taking lair until after mutas. I'm sorry, taking his 3rd. Obviously he has his lair before mutas.
I would hope so. But I love the Baning Nest that he made. That's gonna allow him to stay defensive. I don't know.
I love this.
Not really. I do love what Gieco did because he took advantage of the fact that Maka didn't really deny him of that with Hellions, and this is definitely something that Maka does do. This is what I was talking about before, where Maka just with his
cuts
blade
corners.
seems kind of, and it kind of seems like you're ahead. It kind of makes you feel like you're ahead, that everything's going right, and then he just starts Makaing, and it becomes a really hard game. But yeah, I mean, Gieco is definitely reacting as he should be.
And it's a pretty sizable army out on the map for Maka. Spire finishing up for Gieco. Only 21. Wow, 75 drones. Jesus, this is... You said Maka was greedy. Gieco is... He is... Like, this is absurd. 75 drones at 10 minutes in ZVT. I've never Ling's going to try to catch a couple of Marines, but nope, not going to get a single kill there. This third base is going to come under a lot of fire, and I don't see any way for Jaco to save this base.
Yeah, it's going to be tough. So being a little bit greedy there and getting caught. But I feel like he had enough time seeing this army come out to at least have some banelings.
Yep.
No, he does, but he's definitely going to lose that third, and Maka should just back here. He needs to siege and back away.
Jaco's army is big enough to be scary, and if well, you're exactly what you said. Maka just does this back right up. Jaco had expanded down to about 6 o'clock as soon as he realized he was going to lose the third, and then retakes the original third base as soon as Maka disengages. I still don't mind the position for Jaco. Obviously, this is better for Maka than it was, but we've still got a drone on 70 drone. I'm sorry, a Zerg on 70 drones. With good upgrades and with good tech, and
yeah, and
I mean,
yeah, I love what Jaco is doing, taking 2 bases here at the same time, and Maka's timing that he just hit is a little bit risky, and that's what Jaco might have been relying on to, like, not for it to not happen, you know, like
yeah.
When he did this against me, I had a lot of units. And he did the same timing against me. So his first attack got completely destroyed, and I thought I won already. But, you know, I wasn't in the position of Jaco where he had a ton of drones. And behind this attack, he made that orbital command. So, you know, it's kind of an attack that I'm thinking he geared up for, kind of thinking, you know, if this doesn't do damage, it's okay. Like if it doesn't do damage, it shouldn't do damage. I'm not sure if that makes any sense. Like
no, it does. It makes perfect sense. A lot of Zerg players, well, you see these mutas, they're going to pick off a drop here at the right side of the map. Oh, a couple of Lings getting picked off as well. But a lot of Zerg players, you'll see them make a big swell of Zerglings around 8:30, right? So that when that kind of push comes, oh look, there's 50 Lings out, I can just kill that army. You know, so Maka of course knows that. But if he can force the Zerg to make those Lings, and in exchange not have that third base, and then push. Or if
he's already made those Lings.
Yeah.
It reminds me a lot of a CVC strat that I do, and I think this is probably the easiest way to explain it to the viewers. Say I used to go 1 base infestor, right? In ZVC on Selnaga. I still probably would. It's a good strat. And then once I hit 16 drones on 1 base, since that's gonna mine me an optimal amount of minerals, I'll start making a ton of Lings. And then I attack with those Lings. Sometimes my opponent has been only making drones, so they will just die. And if they've been making enough units to deal with those Lings, I'm okay with that. You know, it's kind of like insurance.
Because you're still mining as much as you're going to mine. You're still in as good a position as you're going to be in until those infestors come out.
Exactly. So it's just a good way to punish greed, and in this game it worked. It doesn't mean that it's game.
Big muta stab into the main base of Maka, and there is not enough there to deal with these mutalist numbers. A lot of SCVs going down. At the same time, Maka pushing through the center of the map, taking a really nice position, spreading out those Marines very well. And he's slowly leapfrogging those siege tanks forward. He did deny the 6 o'clock expansion that Jaco took, but again, Jaco had double expanded, so he could almost even afford to lose it. 186 supply for a Zerg player, 160 for Maka, and whoa, here come the Zerglings and the Banelings, and our returner does finally catch the end of it. Oh, wow, Maka handling that pretty well. Not the entire army. Jaco's whole army did not commit there.
And this is what I was talking about earlier. Whenever you're gonna attack with Banelings, you need to morph those Banelings before. Imagine if those Banelings had
this is kind of close. Maka is going to kill a lot of drones here. Tanks clean up all the siege tanks. This is not bad for the Zerg player, CatZ.
It's actually not. That's a lot of units that he still has, and he really did a lot of damage at the base.
Yeah.
But anyways, I think if Jaco would have morphed like 8 Banelings before engaging that army, he would have just won, because all of those Marines would have died going up that ramp.
Yeah, but even still, look at this. It's no drones really died. 72 drones still out. The mutalist number, as you said, excellent. 19 mutas out on the map. Maka he does have a Thor out, so it's going to be harder for these mutas to find a chance to deal damage. But this main, pretty much undefended. Oh, this command center will be canceled. I guarantee it. One shot, two shot, and cancel, and cancel, and
Oh, it wasn't
dive.
canceled. You guaranteed
No,
it.
it
You
was
lied.
not. Somebody deserves to get their money back, but not
Yeah.
Maka.
Well, on his defense, he probably does. I mean, he is playing from the Korea server, so it's probably
Yeah.
not the best latency ever. And yeah.
11 more drones popping out for Jayako, further solidifying his economic position. 4 bases, though he is about mined out in his main. Probably wants to retake 6 o'clock soon. 180 supply. CatZ, do you think he could just morph a ton of banelings and go?
Maybe, yeah. I mean, it sounds like a little bit risky, but he could. When he said one had 180 supply, he could be trading those links and banelings efficiently as long as he makes this mutable, or as long as most of the mutable survives every time. There is a Thor out though and some bunkers, so it's gonna be hard. And this is something that Maka always does too. Whenever he gets like 3 or 4 bases, he'll start just adding orbital commands. So it's so annoying, but it's good.
Yeah.
Right now,
Supercharges that
Jayako
Terran
in
economy.
a great position though. Yeah, I was gonna say, I was about to say, Ben, don't be surprised if you see Maka throw orbital commands, and then you probably would have been like, that'd be silly right now because he's so far behind. And I would have been like, no, don't be surprised. And then he would have done it, and I would have been like, hey Ben, did you see that?
I saw it, CatZ. I really did. Marines somehow chasing these mutas away. Jayako could have turned around and killed those Marines, but no biggie. 18 mutas out, and the corruptors are coming. Greater Spire about to be finished, and with only three Vikings out on the map, that's gonna be so hard to deal with this Broodlord switch that's coming.
Yeah, definitely not very much out. Also, Maka making a lot of turrets outside of his main, which is the right call a few minutes ago. But right now, with Jayako going to Broodlord attack, Jayako playing really, really good so far. Oh, he's canceled.
Honestly, he is. Oh, yep. And now that means double Viking production from this point forward. More broods morphing. Look at this, man. 200 supply to 144. Jayako sitting on a lot of extra resources, over 2,000 minerals, almost 1,000 gas. 88 drones. I would love to see about 18 spine crawlers go down, and then just kind of cruise control through the rest of the game.
Absolutely. I think that's the right call. 3-3 almost down for the ground. Only one attack on the air, but it shouldn't matter too much. This will be incredibly hard for Maka to defend here.
Yeah, definitely going to be very difficult. Maka has gotten up to 5 Vikings now, trying to add another starport. He's secured a third base. I say a third base because his main's mined out. So it's not a lost game for Maka by any stretch. And Jayako, if he makes the mistake of being too passive, it's entirely possible for Maka to get himself back in this game. I don't think Jayako's going to do that, though. We see him already pushing through the center of the map, taking out those rocks.
Yeah,
Vikings! You can't lose Vikings, Maka! Wow!
I died too.
Oh my god! Yeah, a few of the mutas died, but actually a lot of them just died. And Ling's just going to run right in, and wow, Jayako is a little bit careless there. Thor goes down.
Well, the mutas are actually a lot more expendable than the Vikings are for the turn at this point, I feel like. I think Jayako has the money, and he would much rather have Corruptors out. But he's not making any. He actually just produced 52 links, so he's just going to rely on fungal growth, I suppose, for anti-air. I'm not sure if I completely agree with that.
To go. He doesn't need to sit around and wait. Maka's starting to produce a lot of ghost. Ooh.
Yeah, look at this. No anti-air. Just fungal and infested plants, I suppose, but...
Yeah, pretty good fungals. That's going to actually get the job done for now. Every one of those Vikings is going to fall, and now it's Broodlords, and Maka's immediately forced to unsiege. That's going to make these Lings and Banelings a lot more effective.
Ultra's coming as well.
Yeah.
So he's trusting that Maka is going to make more Vikings. I just can't agree with this though. It seems so risky to go without any Corruptor support.
Banelings are coming! Fungal! Wow. Great job off all those Banelings, but still the Fungals definitely doing enough damage. Broodlord's continuing to march forward. Ultra is about to spawn. Ling's coming as well. I really like the fact that Jayako even added Neural Parasite, even though we're not going to see any Neural go down. It's just a nice touch in the game.
Yeah, definitely. Could have helped a lot. So all of these birds are gonna die now because there are absolutely no corruptors out. But you see, I don't know. I like this is a really good spot for J Echo. He will win this game, but he could have already won 100% if he just made a few corruptors. I figured when he lost the mutas that he wasn't being careless. For a second, I thought, okay, he wants the supply for corruptors. You know?
Yeah.
Ultras.
Either way, yeah.
Job,
Ultras,
probably.
and there's not really an answer to the Ultras. Ghosts obviously are good, but it's just such a big disparity. Orbital takes a lot of damage before lifting. Blings and Infestors pushing forward. You hear the snipes going down. Coolest sounding spell in the game. Unfortunately, there's just not enough of it. GG, well played, and J Echo. Who is J Echo? He's the guy that just beat Maka. So, hats off to that kid. Beautiful Zerg play. CatZ, that was textbook, man. That was excellent.
Very, very nice. Even after losing his third, he was able to come back from that. I mean, as you mentioned before, that wasn't the worst spot to be in. He did save most, if not all, of the drones. But it's still got to be a little bit, like, if anything, it has to psych you out a little bit, playing against someone against Maka Prime and losing a third that early on. So really good job by J Echo, keeping his composure and everything.
Super impressed with his ability to make the snap call. Okay, I can't defend this third. Pull my drones, keep them all alive, and hell, I just totally lost that. Making the snap call to pull the drones, not lose any of that important economy. He just lost a hatchery, and at the end of the day, a hatchery is not that expensive. It's 300 minerals, and obviously you can't afford to be losing hatcheries left and right. But in that instance, it wasn't critical. So. Beautiful play by J Echo. Unfortunate that Maka Prime gets beaten up so early on. It's now going to be on eSahara to figure out who to send out next against this IS team, which is looking very impressive. We'll find out who it is after this short break.